Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of our leveling guide. So from our previous guide, just to quickly do a catch up, we made the decision whether we're going to not do story quests or side quests or anything, but just power to level, basically for like alts to star seeds, right? So where did we go? We completed the story back at Kazakor. We spoke to Don Diego after doing the blessing. We've now entered Navarra. Alternatively, you finished off at sick horses at level 10, or you finished off at mushrooms at level 10, and you decided, Luke, I don't want to do the story, I just want to go to Kazakor. Now, from Kazakor, you basically have a choice. You can continue doing the story, which is obviously first choice. Second choice is you can go, nope, I don't want to do that. I just want to continue powering on with the story. Now, grinding. Now, for grinding, Navarra. So, you come to Navarra, you walk out of the gate, you come down south-ish, and you go to the northeast. Now, the northeast, we're going to this bandit camp up here. Now, the bandit camp's really, really good, and probably one of the best spots for leveling at a decent-ish level, with decent-ish gear, I should keep in mind. Only because there's so many, they aggro like crazy. You can pretty much take it from one side to the other if you mount on a hill, and I'll show you how to do that. And you just go around and around. So from level 10, leaving sick horses or mushrooms, you stay here from 10 to 12. It's incredibly quick. You can leave at 11 if you like, but 10 to 12, I do strongly recommend Bandit Camp. So 10 to 12, Bandit Camp, Navarra. Now, once you get to the bandit camp, you walk on this hill. So up here on the hill where no mobs spawn. Basically what you want to do is, hopefully this guy doesn't ruin it for us, but it doesn't matter even if he does. You want to gather these monsters on your mount, right? So on your mount, just keep running around. Gather them all up like this. Make a quick turn. Make sure you don't de-aggro anything. And you want to bring them all together. Once you bring them all together, you want to mow them down. And rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat, over and over. Now, if that guy wasn't there and had killed a few mobs, there's probably a good 16 mobs here. You can track the whole area, but you must make sure you go on the mountain before. Now, if you don't want to wait for reset, that's fine. Come up on the mountain, server hop, mount up, do it again. Depending on time of day and how many people are around, obviously that's going to depend on how much XP you're going to get. But this level 10 to 12 is definitely the way to go. So 10 to 12, bandit camp, Navarra, northeast-ish, right here. Cool. Where's the next spot to go? Right, so unfortunately for us, it's just another bandit spot. So you finished up here, great. Now you want to exit southwest gate, and you want to head to the next camp. The next camp, we're going to the outlaw fortress. The outlaw fortress is just in this area, so follow the path up the northwest, and we'll see what we do there. But it's ultimately very similar. You basically just want to gather the mobs as much as you can and mow them down. You do this from 12 to 14. Some people find it a little bit slow to 14. That's fine. If it triggers you or you feel like it's not fast enough for whatever the reason, there is no issues at all. You can leave and go to the next spot and just skip ahead this video. Or you can stay to 14 and we'll go to Knolls probably afterwards. Now, it's prudent to know that during all this time, if you were the one that made the decision that I wanted to continue doing the story quest because I like the XP that it gives me later on during the leveling process, that's fine. There's no problem at all. So you can do the Don Diego quest. It sends you up to that bandit camp that we were at before anyway to loot the pillages and stuff like that. And then you pretty much continue down. You continue down to Harpy, and then you eventually end up in the bandit camp. Now, there's no problem with you doing that. So if you want to do that, that's perfectly fine, because you will end up here within 10 to 15 minutes on average. On average is pretty much where the mark was. So again, we're just mounting up, grabbing everything, and just mowing everything down. right? And you just want to do that over and over again. Same rules apply. If you don't want to wait for spawn, that's fine. You can simply just wait on a mountain and off you go. Alright, so you guys made it to 14. Or you decided to leave at 13. That's fine. So we finished up at the Outlaw Fortress. No issues. We now want to come down to here. The Rough Claw territory. Now there's a couple of spots that you can grind down here. And I'll show you exactly where they are. So teleport down this way. Basically, the aim of the game is to stay within a level range of the monster that you're fighting. So it doesn't matter whether you have OP gear or subpar gear. This is perfectly fine. It works flawlessly. So the Rough Claw territory, basically, we're going to stay there from 14 to 15, 16. Again, that's really up to you and how you kind of gauge it. The reason why I plan out this map is to keep people not too much like bored, but change of scenery, I suppose. Like, no one wants to sit in the same area for 8 hours. So this is kind of a way to play the game, play it fast and level fast without feeling the need to mindlessly grind, without feeling the need to do side quests. Now, I'll say it again because I haven't said it in this video. If you decide to do this method, you will end up with less skill points in the long run. Now, if it's just a Star Seed ult, it doesn't matter. But if you are the person that was continuing on with the story, and basically from where we left off at Harpy, and you did the side mission up here, and the main mission, I should say, you'll then get sent down here to continue on with the story. Now, you can do those side quests as well. You don't have to completely avoid side quests, even though we do it most speedruns, right? You can do it and it's fine, get those skill points. So once you either continue on with the story, you end up here anyway to do your investigation, to kill a few monsters. There's no issue. So you can do that, you can do the story way, or you can do it this way, where you come down here and you will be grinding. So you'll be grinding from 14 to 15, potentially 16. It's up to you. XP scrolls, it will probably take you roughly an hour to get those 2 levels. It is a little bit slow here, I admit. So if you don't want to do this, but I should say, that's perfectly fine. There are a few larger monsters that will give you more XP, like this Bone Slicer, for example. It will also hit a lot harder. So basically 3000 XP normally without a scroll. So it averages about 5.5 with a scroll. And there are a fair few around. So it is quite fast leveling, considering the backwards and forwards that you're doing with questing. This is your best bet. So 14, 15, 16, the village here. Once we get to 16, you guessed it, new spot. Now, we haven't technically hit 16 here. As you can see, my character is still 15. But we are heading down here for the sake of continuing on this video, so I don't have to sit here during the event that we're currently experiencing for the drop rates, right? So what we're doing is we're skipping a little bit ahead, or maybe I just made the decision, like some of you might have, to said, Luke, it was a bit too slow for me. I didn't like that area. No issues with that. No issues at all with that. I have your alternative. Your alternative is to continue down the path. So basically we were up here and now we're down here and we want to go to the back corner. So I'll show you exactly the back corner. Basically we're going to be killing goblins and more of these rough claw guys. You can do it anywhere, but I found it to be kind of prudent up here. So there's a few monsters here and a few monsters in the back. So it's just a little circle. I do server hop as well, just keep that in mind. I find this nice and quick. They don't hit hard, they're slow. It's generally not a problem. 2.5k XP for the most part. There's a few trackers up top. Once you finish the circle, just server hop and keep going. It takes you probably 15, 16, 17, another hour, maybe an hour and 10 at the very, very most. But this is the way to do it. So you can do it here. And if you really just go, Luke, I don't want to do these gnolls because I was sick of it from the last spot and I hate it. that's fine. You can leave here, hug the left. I'll just see if I can mount up instead of being in combat for a million years, as we all love and enjoy. You can continue straight down. So continuing straight down south path will lead you to the crocodile spawn. Now, the crocodile spawn is pretty good. You'll have a bunch of quests that you can do here. You know, heal the ostriches, gather the meat, kill the poachers, rescue shabikis, all of that. That is really good XP. So if you're planning on doing crocodile farm from 15-16, not a problem. Just make sure you get those side quests. Now, I don't say get those side quests normally because I do find side questing to sometimes be a little bit of a out of your way venture. But for this, definitely. Now, if you decided to continue doing the story, obviously you have the stone goblins with the pillars. So 1 pillar, 2 pillar, 3 pillar. So basically what I'm trying to explain is that even if you do the story and not the side quests, or even if you decide just to do the grinding farm that I'm showing you guys, there's really no big difference if you want to take between, I would say it's about an hour out of your way. So from 1 to 21, there's about an hour you will lose if you decide to do the story. And it might not be a terrible way to go, to be absolutely honest. So 15, 16 crocodiles is probably your best bet. If the crocodiles dry up, you can definitely go around and kill the mercenaries around the trees. Then 16 to 17, we want to be going to hippos. Now, 16 to 17 hippos is ridiculous. It's about 4.5k XP with a scroll each. They're incredibly slow. The downside is the spawn's a little bit how you're going. There's not a lot of them. If people are here, you have to server swap. Funny enough, it's peak time for the US and there's no one here. So it is a little bit odd. I am getting almost 2k XP. You will be getting 3.54k at level 16. So it's not a bad alternative to do the hippos. So 16, 17 hippos, 100%. Now, once you hit 17 and hippos, my personal best spot, and a lot of people disagree, which is fine. People don't always have to agree. So from 16, 17 hippos in the lake where the genie spawns, or Bashal, you want to come down here to dry sand barrens, I should say. These goblins are ridiculous. They give some of the highest XP for leveling. The only issue with these are they're a little bit dicky. And what I mean by that is they hurt a lot if you take a hit. So if you take a hit, they're a little bit troublesome, but their XP is monstrous. The choppers, there's one here, there's one on the other side of the road, will give 7.8k XP each with a scroll at level 17. They do take a little bit long, but when you're getting that type of XP, you really don't care. 7.8, 7.5, 7.8k, something like that, for these goblins. Now, you can easily stay here from 17 to 18 at hippos and mercenaries and hyenas. No issues. If you feel like that's fast, and it is fast, and I've done it 10, 12 times before, not a problem. You can stay here. What you can do, though, when you do make the decision to go to either elephants, because I know some of you like elephants, that's fine, or goblins, or pumas, just make sure you stop at the hub. Get these specific side quests, because they're in the same vicinity. So if you're not going out of your way, just make sure you get them. So on your way through, just stop at the village up here, grab your side quest, and continue on. Explore the world, kill monsters, jump between pumas, goblins, elephants, if that's what interests you. I would implore you guys at this point to try and not kill the area bosses. Now, you can kill the area bosses for the XP. That's fine, because it might take you a day or two, depending on how long you guys are playing, to get to that level 20 mark. But from 20 to 21, it gets really interesting. You can actually do Bashal, Flame Giant, all the bosses in Triz, and one story quest, and that will get you all the way from 20 to 21. So if you're that kind of person that says, Luke, I just want to make 5 21 characters, that is fine. That is basically what you want to do. So this is from 16, 17, 18. As soon as you hit 18, Fairyland. We made it. 18. 18 at pumas, goblins, elephants. I've been bouncing between the two. So once you finish 18, as you can see, I still haven't finished the story. I didn't go back and continue the story all the way from Bashal. So what that basically means is you can easily do this method all the way to 18 without progressing the story. So at this point, and you haven't hit the story, or maybe you have, you can either continue from now till Fairyland, which you'll get sent from Ardell Traders, which is down here, right? You come down here, you'll do the story, you'll get sent away. On your way, you can do the Flame Giant quest and a few other quests that are found on the road. So down here, approximately. I haven't uncovered on this character. And now from there, you basically, again, make a conscious decision. Do I want to continue the quest for Fairyland? Or do I just want to continue on farming goblins? Now, goblins can be done very fast from 18 to 19. There's no issues at all doing that. Basically, 18 to 19 is okay at elephants, but I do prefer goblins. The XP is huge. You can go to the Reach down south with, the frogs and the snakes and the Dreamclaw warriors, but it's just too slow. It's too slow. The amount of time and effort it takes to kill them, the damage that you receive, the lack of herbs that are found. Every single spawn I take you to has sufficient herbs. So if you run out of potions or whatever, or you don't want to make them or don't want to buy them, whatever the case, whatever the story is, have sufficient ways to heal yourself. And that's what's important while we're doing this leveling process. Now, go back, continue the stories, do these side missions. It doesn't matter. You're laughing at this point because you're level 18. You haven't hit that wall or anything. So 18 to 19, continue the story to Ardell Traders. Continue killing goblins from 18 to 19. If you decide to continue on with the story, that's fine. You'll go to Fairyland, you'll kill some frogs, you'll kill some Dreamclaw, you'll light the braziers, you'll do the fire. You'll do the eggs, you'll collect the eggs for the snake. You'll go back to Fairyland, Don Diego will thank you very much, blah, blah, blah. You'll go back to the Reach. From the Reach, it will say, look, you finally got the quest to gain level 19. But at that point, you would be so close. So close. So from 18 to 19, you can either go back and do the Flame Giant. So in Navarra, you can do the Bashal turn-in if you really don't want to wait. I respect that. Alternatively, you can go back, continue grinding goblins. You can do the regionals or maybe frogs or snakes when it pops up every couple of hours. If you are completely burnt out. So that's perfectly fine. So just to recap, 17, 18, 19, any of those methods will work flawlessly. Once you hit 19, you'll do the knoll. You'll walk across the bridge on your way to Triz. If you decide to do that, just make sure, and again, black, great for this video. Once you finish the 19 knoll, you walk across the bridge somewhere down here, and on your left, there'll be the Water Spirits quest. Do the Water Spirits quest, it's incredibly good XP, not only for the monsters, but the quest turn-ins itself, and then continue to Triz. So at this point, you're 19, maybe even 19 and a half. I don't doubt it. And then we'll continue on. So 19 and a half, let's push on. All right, so we made it. 21. Now, it was a little bit of a rush guide, but to recap, just do it one more time, just so everyone's nice and clear on what we did. So from the very first video that we did, we went to the bandit village up here in Navarra, 10 to 12, 12 to 14, outlaw fortress, 14 to 15, Territory. 15 to 16. Village. 16, 17. Crocodiles or hippos. 17, 18. Goblins. In the barrens, pumas or elephants. 18, 19. The same. Alternatively, continue the story. 18, 19. Fairyland. 19, 20. This loop is very good. I didn't actually mention that earlier. 1920, the loop is good. Why is the loop good? Because there's a lot of Goliaths down there which give more XP. More HP, more damage, but more XP. Now, you can do that and that's perfectly fine. So, 18, 19 is probably all you want to stay here for. Do the few quests here, which I was saying earlier. Go over the bridge. Do the water spirits and I think plants. You loot some plants, and then continue to Triz. So from 1920, you'll be grinding. You'll do a couple of these missions down in Triz. You might want to do the story. That's fine. If you decided that you didn't want to do the story, not a problem. You can kill ghosts right here from 19 to 20, not a problem. Once you hit 20, by doing all the bosses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus Bashal, plus one story or one fire golem, you'll go from 20 to 21 in one go. So there's no grinding at all from 20 to 21. So that's the most of it, guys. So that's from 1 to 21 in approximately 7.5 hours. Like, that's as fast as I've been managed to get it. These are from pathing. I know some people will have different ideas, and that's great. If you have different ideas or think something's faster, or maybe something that I said was probably not accurate or not correct, no issues at all. Just leave comments below. Always happy to have a chat. And by all means, share information with the community, and that's why we do it for. So I hope everyone enjoyed these 2 sensibly longish videos to explain the 1 to 21, and this guide again is for people that really just want to be making ults for the star seeds. From 21 onwards, you've got Ghost Farm, you've got Rift Farm, which is kind of not viable anymore with the amount of people. So Ghost Farm's your best bet. Your story, your regionals up north once you start getting to 24, 25. From 25, you continue with your regionals and story. If you didn't do your story, just keep smashing regionals, which I'm sure most of you are. From 26, probably 27, you want to be doing the Blood Lake farm, which is in the very northwest corner where Gideon is. You can stay there all the way to 31, and it's relatively fast. So, guys, any questions at all? If you need help, as always, leave your comments below. Give us a follow on Twitch and Twitter. We stream most nights, so always happy to chat with people. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you soon.